Hello everyone. I've decided to do something a little different today. Sean and I are taking the day off as far as playing a round of disc golf, but I wanted to get some practice in. As some of you may have seen in the last couple videos, Sean and I have both been trying to do a run-up with either a cross step or just a straight walk-up if we're trying forehand for myself. But we've both been trying to implement a run-up or walk-up game into our backhand, that I've also been wanting to do some work with movement with my sidearm. So that's the purpose of this video today. Sean and I are planning on playing Bayou Bandit this weekend, and I was just going to do this on any old course, but I figured why not come to Bayou Bandit and practice there. So here are the rules for today. Essentially, it's not a game. I'm not keeping score. I've got 3 fairway drivers that I'll be using for backhand. I have 3 mid-ranges I'll be using for forehand because I can't throw as far with my forehand as I can my backhand. And I've got 4 putters to use for relatively close-up approaches and putting. So what you're going to see is me 3 times off the tee, throw backhand with a run-up, and then 3 times off the tee with a sidearm with a run-up of some sort. And then after that, it's just your normal approach, mid-range and approach stuff. And if I need to do another set of run-up, say on a par 4 or a longer hole, I will attempt that. But that's all I'm doing today. So let's go ahead and watch me learn how to do this. One thing I'm noticing is I'm shooting straight up. Let's go see what I've got. So my best throw was actually from my forehand, not any of my sidearm throws, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and putt. Every one of those was just in front of the basket. But it's easier for people to say, hey, just do a run-up, than it is for me to actually do a run-up as you're witnessing here. But let's try it again on hole 2. All right, here we go again. I'm going to try to keep the disc a little bit lower when I do my run-up. Too high. Again, I don't know how you guys do it so easily. One time I aimed straight, I hit a tree. It's not good. It's not what I was aiming for. Nothing but trees. This is why I rely on standstill, because I'm absolutely terrible with the lemon. I'm literally nothing but trees. And that was an unintentional roller, a thrower. The good news is I have a putt. The bad news is I'm obstructed. And my best throw is about 120 feet. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was dispirited already, but I'm going to keep plugging at it because that's what I'm here for. Here to practice a skill I don't have. Super high. That was a pretty good throw, but to be honest, I can throw that far, stand still. That was out of my hand too low. That was also out of my hand too low. Not good. Alright, so two of my mid-range forehand shots went 80 feet total. The third one did about 110 feet. And the two other driver throws were in the 130 foot range. So it's not looking good so far. My best one is about 100 and almost 200 feet, about 180, 85. And I've got about 50 feet to the basket. Let's see what I can do with my approaches. One issue I've been dealing with my approaches is I accidentally go up, and that's when I'm standstill, so I don't have movement as an excuse. So I'm trying to aim straighter, but not in the trees. Here's the next basket. It's hanging up. Too high, way off to the right. That's basically going to be my method of operation for throwing with cross step, is to deliberately go up and to the right, apparently. Learning the run-up would be easy, they said. Incidentally, I'm not going to be recording tap-in putts, but anything kind of at a decent distance I'll record just to see how close I can get. Alrighty, this basket is way down this way. Alrighty, so I spent the last 20 minutes looking for my shark 3, which somehow I lost in an open field, and I've scoured everywhere and I can't find it, so I'm going to end up looking at this video and trying to find out where it went and probably come back and try to retrieve it. But it's kind of crazy. An open field with grass that's not too long, I lost a disc. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and putt and try to continue this practice session with the remaining discs that I have at my disposal. Alright, so I have good news. Two people spotted my disc when I couldn't. It was in the middle of the street against the curb, and for some reason I couldn't see it. Anyways, now I can continue, but I'm going to let them go through. Alright, so there's not an easy way to point to the basket here, considering I need to also get my shots, but I'm going to throw my driver's backhand this way, out that way to let them curve in, and my mid-ranges I'm going to throw this way to let them curve that way, just to see how close I can get to the target. That's the goal. That was an early release too high. Get used to those words. This is more of a learning experience for y'all than it is for me. Y'all get to see just how bad I am with the cross step and why I don't do this. Y'all see a pattern here? Alrighty, since 2 of my discs landed in the street and the rest of them landed back there, I'm going to go ahead and just practice from here. These are going to be upshots. Alright, I've got easy putts from there. Alrighty, hole 7 is a really long throw, so I'm going to get lots of cross-step practice here. That was me slowing down to the point of absurdity there in that throw. I'm advancing better with my forehand than my backhand. I still think that one good backhand throw that I did got a little bit farther than the forehands. Let's go see. Alright, I'm still this far away from the basket. I'm less than halfway. So since this is still a full throw for me, I am actually right about halfway. I'm going to use this to mark my lie. Now I get to use all my drivers and mid-ranges again. I'm going to need more space to run up. It would be nice to land one of these off the street. That one's just on the curb, off the curb. It's really discouraging when 5 or 6 out of every one of my throws is worse than my average standstill. And yes, I was 6 feet shy of my lie. 6 feet shy of my lie because I don't have the distance for that yet. Alright, let's see what I've got. Alright, the good news is I'm in upshot territory. I like all 3 of those. Of course I did them standstill. Alrighty, as you can tell it's that away. See what I can do. Way high. I don't know how they ended up across the street. I'm using the momentum from me running up to essentially launch into there more effectively. Nose down. That's my nose down throw. How about noser, more downer? Straight up grip lock into the street. My best throw yet. So far I'm learning the run up only helps my forehand so far. Unfortunately threw that one into the ground. Okay, so I had two really good results with two of my mid-ranges, two good results with two of my drivers. My best result is this cheetah. Now I get to approach I'm happy with at least one of those. Final hole of the day, straight ahead of course. Let's see what I can do. I'm gonna have to move this camera back so I have more room to throw. All right, here we go again. It's just not clicking with me. I actually envy every one of you that can do this. Every one of you. That was way too high and a late release, as I'm sure y'all could probably tell. High, but in line. Okay, so since this was rolled into the street, I moved it forward just a tiny bit, and I'm going to practice up shots. This is about 120 feet that way, so I'm going to use 3 putters with my backhand, and I may try some sidearm approaches. And I know these end up unstable, so I need to aim them with a little bit of hyzer. This one's overstable, so Figures. Alrighty, now I know next time I'm 120 feet from the basket, I need to use mid-range with my backhand and use flick with my forehand. And that's going to do it. Alrighty, so here's my analysis after going through this experience. So this is not my first time attempting a cross step during a run-up. I've tried this at home in private without a camera. I've tried this on my side yard alone without a camera. And I can't nail down the timing of my movement. And I've watched practically every cross step video on YouTube over the last year. And I'm painfully aware that I'm not making the progress that I want to make with the backhand and the run-up. And as you've witnessed today, I didn't really get better with the run-up by the end of this 9-hole experiment. My forehand run-up or walk-up is actually pretty decent, notwithstanding my inability to aim with the flick, because that's not a skill that I've dedicated much time to until the last, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months or whatever. And even then I haven't had that much time to develop anything with that. So I'm personally happy with where I am with my forehand sidearm game with a walk-up or without. And if I dial in what I'm supposed to do with my arm, you know, to where even at a standstill it would be a correct throw, that I can use in lieu of my backhand. Now my backhand standstill, I can still do upwards of 250, 265 feet standstill, which is decent for a standstill for a beginner. But I can't get close to that doing my janky walk-up or run-up. My friend Sean just did it. It just clicked with him. He did football practice, you know, 30 plus years ago, so doing cross step and that sort of motion is easy for him. For me, it's not. And I've tried without any discs, and I've tried with. And it's easier for me to see what to do than it is for me to actually get my body to do it. So tomorrow, weather permitting, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to do the back nine with the same exact sort of testing I'm doing here after reviewing this video and seeing if somehow magically things can click. But the reality is this is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen over the course of a couple of videos. I just want to see a little bit of improvement, and the end of today I'm no better than I was from the very first backhand run up or walk up that I've done. And I'm painfully aware of that. So, and I get that this is more of a morose type of video that is not very uplifting or cheery, and I can't make anything comedic or funny about it because you know, I'm trying really hard to make this work, and it's not clicking. So, you know, I'm using discs. I know how to throw. I'm on a course I've played before. I'm doing everything that I normally do with the exception of adding a run-up. And the fact is, right now, I can do a best of two throws with a standstill backhand and probably 6 run-up walk-through backhands, and still do better out of 2 standstill than probably 6 or so attempting a run-up. And I realize practice makes perfect, but I'm completely wearing myself out doing something I'm just not coordinated enough to do. And I've tried things like, oh, let's do 1 step, let's do 2 or 3 step, and just the 1 step itself is bad. So I'll be working on this. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, hopefully with the weather permitting. We got a storm rolling in, cold front, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you very much for putting up with this lengthy, uncoordinated video, and have a great day.